What's going on, everybody? Josh here, and today we're going to talk about TOEFL writing and 5 easy ways to start. Now, the best part of this is that it's going to save you time. A lot of people have trouble starting their essay, and you're kind of thinking, how do I start? What do I do? What do I do? Don't have to worry about that anymore. You're going to know exactly how to start every time. And be sure to stick around to the end, because I'm going to show you one kind of common mistake that a lot of students make when it comes to writing your introduction. Okay, so let's get into the 5 ways. Let's start with the first task number 1, the integrated essay. And the integrated essay, you have to read and listen to a passage. And I'm going to give you 2 easy ways to start. Pick which one you like. The article introduces the topic of, that's talking about the reading, or the reading and the lecture are both about, and you talk about the topic. So both the reading and lecture will be about the same topic. So both of these examples will work. Totally up to you. To give you an example, the article introduced the topic of deforestation, which is the clearing and cutting down of trees in a large area. And the reading and the lecture are both about deforestation, which is, okay, so they're both exactly the same. Both are fine. And also you'll notice that both give you the opportunity to make a long sentence, because you say the first part, the article introduced the topic of, you say the topic, deforestation, school uniforms, whatever it is, and then you define it. You put a comma, which means and you explain it. So it's a good way to make a long sentence. So that's the introduction for the integrated essay. I wanted to give you also some useful synonyms. These are different ways to say the same word. You're going to have to say article, writer, says, and disagrees a lot. So here are some different ways to say them. Instead of article, you could say passage or essay, or listening passage or reading passage, and text. Writer is author. I don't know another word for writer. If you guys know one, please let me know. Instead of says, we can say states, claims, posits, maintains, points out, suggests. And there's more than that, actually, but those are just a few examples. Says, there's a lot of things you can say. And disagrees, you say cast doubt on. This is a good phrase, hard to use. Opposes and contests. There's some useful synonyms. Now let's talk about the independent essay. I'm going to give you 3 ways to start. Remember, this is about your opinion, so there's less kind of like a template. Also, if you want to have a template for the writing task 1 or writing task 2, I'm going to put a link in the description to the writing guide and also to videos about 1 and 2, so you can check that out. So this is the introduction for independent essay task 2. Most people around the world believe, many people have different beliefs about, and so as you can see, this is basically about anything. It can be about any topic. So that's why this works. You can say this about any topic. People have beliefs about a lot of things around the world, right? So it's pretty easy to use in your essay. This last one is a phrase that I like to use that I sometimes suggest to students, but it's hard to use. So there's no shortage of opinion. You can use that if you like, but it is a little bit difficult to use, a little bit tricky. The other 2 are much simpler. So most people around the world believe high school students should wear school uniforms. Or many people have different beliefs about whether or not high school students should wear school uniforms. There is no shortage of opinion as to whether or not high school students should wear school uniforms. So it's a little tricky, that last one. So you could just use one of the first 2. I think that's best. And I told you that there's one mistake. In the beginning of this, I said there's one mistake lots of students make. And it's because teachers give this advice. It's that you should have a hook. This is kind of good writing advice where you have an introduction that people want to read more about. So you want your first sentence to be really cool and make the person really want to read it. But this is TOEFL. You don't have to worry about a hook or an interesting introduction. Instead, just pick one of these 5 ways to start for the integrated or independent essay, and it'll be just fine, and you can score really well with these introductions. Again, check out the grammar guide. I'll put a link in the description. Also, I'll put a link to complete guide to question 1, question 2. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, take care.